everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, then hello. Basically I'm an art channel. I do a lot of drawings, a lot of Disney animated things because that's what I like. I do original pieces as well, but today's video is basically just me telling you my top 10 favourite Disney Pixar films of all the ones that I've seen, because I haven't actually seen them all. And I'm going to be doing a little drawing to go alongside each one whilst I just explain why it's where it is in my top 10. I did get this video idea from Dorky Ever After. If you don't know who they are, their channel is amazing. It's Tom Burns, so he created Summer in the City, and Jamie Jo, and she is an incredible artist, like hands down one of the best, my favourite people on YouTube. But I'll leave their video linked down below because this was not my idea, although theirs they didn't do any drawings, so I'm sort of modifying it a little bit for my channel. But without any further ado, so that I don't have too much of a rambly intro, we're just going to get started and see my top 10. So coming in at number 10 is my A Bug's Life. Now for this one I decided to draw Dot because she is the only one that actually believes in Flick, and I love this film so much. All of the little lines and phrases and things that are used in it are just so good. I love the fact that he's kind of like this guy with like big aspiring dreams, and he just wants to help make a change, but he's frowned upon all the way through it. And I find it a bit unfair, but it's that sort of story of an outsider being the one to have all of the sort of clever ideas and no one actually believing in him, except for obviously Dot, and her persistence in trying to get around to learn to fly. So overall I really love this film. It's got like really nice teamwork values and sort of ethic values to it, and it's just a lot of fun really. I rewatched it after doing this as well and thoroughly enjoyed myself. Now coming in at number 9, I've put The Incredibles. So I attempted to do Syndrome. I wasn't entirely happy with how the drawing turned out, but this film I loved when it first came out. So where A Bug's Life was probably one of the first ones that I remember seeing, this one was probably one of the ones that I saw when I was old enough to understand, and I remember waiting so long for Incredibles 2 to come out. It was ridiculous. And then I loved the film because it's sort of typecast and stereotyping at its finest, so everyone can relate to it. It's all based around like the family values and things, and overall it's just a really enjoyable film. Syndrome I think is probably the only villain that doesn't actually sort of have any sort of purpose or massive motivation, just the fact that he was sort of left behind when he was younger. Coming on to number 8, I decided to put Finding Nemo here. Now for the longest time, a few years back, this so would have been at the top of my list, but times change and new films come out, so that just goes to show this probably would have been way up there. Again, I love this film. I quite enjoy the fact that it was just based around like fish and sea animals, because quite frankly that's my favourite type of thing. And I remember thinking it was such a good film, and like just everything about it really, how it was done, all the colours and all the different fish, and sort of they all have their quirky traits and things, just literally made it so enjoyable to me, and I really thoroughly enjoyed it. Although my drawing of Nemo didn't actually turn out the best. I have drawn him better than that before, so my plan was for it to turn out a lot better than it did, but that was not the case unfortunately. But like I said, I will leave the link to the previous video where I've drawn Nemo in the link down below in the description, so you go check that one out and then let me know which one you think is better. But yeah, overall love this film. One of my favourites, or it definitely is, hence why it's in my top 10. Next we've got Monsters Inc. Now this comes in at number 7 for me, just purely for the fact that, again, new films have come out since that the animation is so good in. And I quite frankly couldn't really put it anywhere else on my list. I definitely was not going to put it lower. This one, I just love the fact that Boo is not scared at all. The fact that she loves Mike and Sully, and she thinks that Sully is a cat. And I chose to draw this picture because I wanted to draw Boo because it most resembles Monsters Inc. to me, whereas Mike and Sully could also resemble Monsters University. Boo is kind of like everything this film is about for me, and I kind of want a sequel to it because it was all well and good us having the sort of prequel, but now I want the sequel. So I want to know what happens to Boo. But yeah, it's such a fun film and so light-hearted, and just, yeah, the values that are shown in it and everything, and it's sort of how well they take care of her as well. I just really, really have a soft spot for this film. I feel like I'm rambling a lot. In at number 6, I lost trail of where I was then number-wise, comes The Good Dinosaur. Now, I hadn't watched this film until I started doing this video, and then I had to put it in my top 10, so it's gone halfway, because the top ones, just nothing can beat them at the moment, and it had to replace a few others on the list, because the animation in this film is incredible. How they do all the water and, like, make everything as accurate and detailed and realistic as possible, I absolutely love it. Now, I didn't think that I would like a film about a dinosaur, I'm not gonna lie, but it's just such a nice film. And the fact that he becomes friends with, I think he calls him Spot, and just basically helps to sort of take care of them, and it's all about him being afraid to begin with, but then facing his fears, and basically showing if you overcome your fears, then you can pretty much do whatever you set your mind to. And I just think that's such a good like story and lesson to learn, and I just really thoroughly enjoyed it. And Arlo was so cute. The fact that he was the smallest one to come out of the biggest egg, oh, I just love it. Everything about it. Although in this drawing my white pen did smudge, hence why there's white pen marks on the paper, but overall, lovely film. Number 5, we have Coco. Again, this is another one that I've only just recently seen, and then again, it had to go straight into my top 10. I love this film. I can't explain how much. It was so good. And honestly, for the, like, okay, so if I would have just looked at the DVD case, then I would have actually had a bit of an idea, but I was in such a rush to watch it. I just didn't even really look at the case, didn't read the blurb or anything, just went straight into it, and at first I honestly thought that Dela Cruz was his granddad. And then I thought, oh my god, he's so unlucky if that's the case. But it's just such a good film. I really love it, how well it's all done. I love the colours, I love the fact that it's to do with the festival and family, and it's not just like, oh, a little girl is lost somewhere and the prince has to come save her. Number 4, we have Incredibles 2. So I decided to draw Jack Jack because, let's face it, this film is basically all about Jack Jack getting his powers that they know of, because obviously he gets them in the first one, but no one really pays attention to that. So yeah, I thought I'd draw Jack Jack for this one. Unfortunately, the markers that I used didn't really blend as well as I would have liked them to, so it didn't come off with the nicest finish. But I love this film. Honestly, can't explain how much. I rewatched it the other day because it was on TV, and it was so good. So basically, I just love the fact that the roles are reversed as well, so it shows her being able to, I can't get my words out, it shows the mum being able to go out and fight all the bad guys, and then the dad has to stay at home with the children. And the fact that Violet sort of doesn't want to be a superhero and then she full on changes her mind, I love it so much. Then number 3, I believe we're up to number 3 now, I've kind of lost track, I'm not gonna lie, is Monsters University. Now, this film, oh my god. So I didn't know if I was gonna like it or not, because when I realised that it wasn't a sequel, I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. Is it gonna be as good as I would like it to be? And I really enjoyed this film. I know a lot of people have different opinions on it, but that's true of any film, really. You're not always going to like the same films as everyone else. I just really enjoyed getting to see the fact that, although, yes, Sully is the big scarer at the company and the university and things, I love the fact that it was all down to Mike. Number 2, we've got Finding Dory. So here I'm drawing Hank. He is the septopus, not an octopus, septopus, because he lost an arm or a leg, whatever they are. I love this film. This, for so long, I wanted it to be my number 1, but I couldn't. You'll find out what my number 1 is in a second, but I fully love this film, thoroughly enjoyed it. I don't know what it is. I think it's the fact that they've included so many more characters as well. So obviously they have Bailey and the whole backstory to Dory, and the fact that she actually remembers and works on her memory, and just everything, how nicely it is all done. I fully enjoy this film every single time, and I just really enjoy it. The fact that she can remember where she came from if she tries hard enough, and that she still has family anyway. And number 1 is Ratatouille. So I'm drawing Remy because how can you not if you're doing Ratatouille? I love this film. The fact that it's based around anyone can do anything that they want as long as they try hard enough and they're passionate about it, which I'm not going to lie is kind of what I go by, because I always got told at school that I wasn't good enough at art, and I was always sort of the bottom of the class. Well, in A-levels. For GCSEs I did okay, but a lot of the time, towards the end of my sort of sixth form schooling, I was definitely bottom of the class because I had to focus on other subjects and things as well. And I just always felt like everyone thought that I wasn't good enough, but I've stuck at it and I've kept it going, and I've made this channel out of it, and I've made so many drawings and things now that I fully believe in the motto of this film, and I thoroughly enjoy it. His wooden spoon could have been a bit bigger at the top, but yeah, that is my top. So that was my top 10. Let me know in the comments what your top 10 would be, or if you've seen them all, what your order would be. Also let me know which drawing was your favourite, because I'd be curious to know that. Some of them took me a very long time. I've had this video planned for ages, but never actually had the time to get around to doing it. Like I say, let me know your order in the comments down below, and which drawing was your favourite, or just your top 3 if you haven't seen many. Just let me know. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up so I know whether to do more videos like this in the future. And yeah, hopefully I will see you again very soon.